thanks for checking out my video. I'm Olivia and today I'm doing a little trial run for my bridal shower makeup. Excuse me if I look a little sweaty, it's really hot today. I just came in from walking my dog, but it's mid-afternoon and I want to get my nails done after this, so we gotta keep things moving. But yeah, I'm getting married this fall and my bridal shower is actually tomorrow. Feels like everything's happening real quick, but I did want to quickly squeeze in a little practice run for the makeup I'm going to wear tomorrow. The theme for the shower tomorrow is going to be Limoncello. I thought it was really cute. I wanted to channel some of my Italian heritage, but also lemons, citrus, it's all adorable. So naturally, I wanted to reach for the Limoncello palette by Colourpop. This collection's pretty old from Colourpop. Honestly, I don't think I've used the palette more than once or twice at best. I also have the eyeshadow sticks here, literally never touched, so I feel like it's a good time to try these out. I do have some serum blushes from Colourpop, and I have these blush sticks, also from the Limoncello collection. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use one of these. I haven't tested them out too much. I feel like I've probably used these, again, maybe 2 or 3 times, well over a year ago now. So I might test one out today for fun, but I do have a couple products on fallback that I've really been loving. For most of the base, I was going to use most of the products from my everyday makeup drawer. I've been meaning to do another shot in my stash and to swap out the drawer pretty soon. It is mid-June now. I kind of meant to do it earlier, but honestly, time has just gotten away from me. I've been really busy. I feel like that's worked out though, because again, I've been loving a lot of the products that I've been using lately. So I kind of have a few on standby that I might use. Also, in terms of the palette, it is quite basic. I'm definitely wanting to do a relatively simple, obviously yellow look. Because I'm going to go pretty basic in terms of the colors on the eyes, I might end up reaching for an indie shadow just to mix it up with some texture and sparkle. But I'll probably do the whole look first and then see how I want to elevate it from there. So that's kind of the plan. I'm not 100% sure of each specific product I'm going to use, but I have an idea or at least a couple options that I want to choose from. So let's just get into it. Let me put the hair back. I do already have color corrector on under my eyes, and I am wearing just this random lip balm from NARS. For primer, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know if this really does anything, but I like the idea of smoothing out my base. So I'm gonna go in with this No Problem primer from Touch in Sol. This is very old. It also doesn't really want to squeeze out of the tube anymore, so I'm just gonna kind of take some off this way. And I just want to smooth kind of the center of my face. Forgive me if you can hear the AC that just turned on, but like I said, it's very hot outside today. And I did just come inside from out there. So I'm just gonna kind of let it cool the house down for a bit. For my foundation, I'm kind of between two. I really like the Urban Decay Hydromaniac, but lately I've also been using and really loving the Smashbox Camera Ready BB Cream. I don't know if they make this one anymore. I've had it for at least a few years now. The Urban Decay one I feel like is a lot more dewy looking. It has a glowier finish. This one I feel like is still glowy, but not quite to the extent that the Urban Decay one is. I feel like for tomorrow I'm going to want a little less dew just because we're taking pictures and stuff. I feel like a little bit more of a natural finish tends to photograph a little bit better. And I mean, I do just like the finish of this one anyway, so I think I will go for this one. I do like that it's SPF 35 as well. Probably doesn't really mean anything at this point because, like I said, I've had it for a few years. But in theory, that's a really nice plus. I think my goal for the base is not super full coverage. I'm really just not into the full coverage in general. I don't really think there's an occasion at this point where I would want absolutely full coverage. But yeah, I'm happy with like a light to medium coverage. I don't want anything super dewy, but I probably will go in with some sort of highlight. Either a highlight or a glowy blush. I don't know if I'm going to want to do both because again, I don't want it to be like over the top. I kind of want it to be like a subdued, more kind of cute, understated look. And I feel like any extra like little detail or sparkle I want to be on the eyes probably. But that's going to be the foundation. For concealer, I'm not really picky. I'm just going to use this one from Beauty Blender because it's one that I have open and near me. And it's pretty brightening. I'm just going to go under the eyes, and then I always do a little bit kind of between the brows just to brighten up these areas. So originally I was planning on doing my own wedding makeup as well. I'm still really on the fence. My Maid of Honor and Bridesmaids did kind of convince me to get someone to do it. And I don't feel like that's a bad idea because it does kind of alleviate that stress, especially if I do my own and I mess something up. It's gonna be really frustrating on my wedding day. So I'm not opposed to having someone else do it. It does just feel a little bit silly, like for the cost and the amount I have to spend on that, when like I have a lot of products that I really like. I have a lot of variety in terms of color products and eyeshadows and everything. And I mean, as much as I'm not a pro at makeup, I feel like I'm good enough that I'm usually happy with how it looks. So I am still very torn. I feel like if I could just have the makeup artist for like the base and like the brows, I'd be happy with that. But I also don't want to start like negotiating. I feel like I'm just gonna have someone do it or I'm gonna do it myself. I don't want to do like bits and pieces. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I have secured a makeup artist. They are someone that I would trust because they did my friend's makeup for her wedding and I thought it looked beautiful. So I'm not really worried about that. It's just the principle of spending the money. And I mean, it would feel pretty good knowing that like I did my own wedding makeup, and if it like turned out really well, I'd be pretty proud of that. So I don't know yet. I'm not sure. But let's just keep going. Since I am going to try out one of these cream blushes today, I'm going to start with the cream bronzer. So I'm going to go in with this cream bronzer from Fenty, and it's in the shade Butter Biscuit. I'm not sure what to do yet for my nails either. I do kind of want it to go with the theme. But if I end up doing acrylic nails, they do kind of last for a couple weeks. So I'm not sure if I want to commit to like a bright yellow, maybe a butter yellow. If I want just the tips, is that going to look dirty if like the tips are yellow? I'm not really sure yet if I'm going to do like a design. Like, is that a typical thing at nail salons, or do you have to like bring your own stickers? I don't really know. I'm not much into the nails, but I felt like it was kind of the right occasion to finally do them. Hopefully they just kind of can tell me what to do. I feel like this ring light is so bright that I can't actually see what's going on. Hopefully it looks okay. It'll just be a surprise for me at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna test these out today. If I don't like them, I have also been using this cream blush from Melt, and I really like this formula. I feel like the payoff and the lasting power is quite nice. So this one is kind of my fallback, and it's in the shade Honey Thief. But I thought it'd be fun to experiment while we're here. And I do really love using products together that come out in the same collection, because you would assume that everything complements each other well, it all goes together. So in theory, it'd be nice to use one of these. I was mostly drawn to these two shades. This one is Cottage Life and this one is Picnic Time. So I might use a little bit of both. I'm just gonna go in with a brush instead of putting them directly on my face. I'm starting with the shade Cottage Life. I'll kind of just stamp it all around. There might have been a little bit of pink cream blush left on this brush, so hopefully that didn't ruin anything. Washing my brushes would also be a fantastic idea. I am not one to wash my brushes very often. It just seems like such a not fun activity. I would literally rather buy new brushes than wash what I have. But if I'm being honest and gross, I don't even do that. I just reuse the same ones. So just get out myself there. Honestly, I feel like that's really pretty on its own. I really like that kind of neutral color. But I do still want to try out mixing these two, so I'm going to go in with some Picnic Time just on my brush. And I might focus that kind of on the front. I feel like that looks really pretty. Hopefully my camera picks up the colors nicely. But I really like that kind of neutrally blush. Should we do a liquid highlight? I honestly don't think I need one, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to go in with the shade Basque from Unearthly. I feel like one or two of these end up leaving sparkles all over my face. I don't really remember if it was this one, or maybe it was like the highlight that I topped over this, because I do usually layer. But I mean, I'll test it out today and I'll wear it throughout the afternoon. This one has a yellow base, and as you might be able to see, a very pink shift or pink sparkles. I still kind of like it for the theme. I feel like it kind of matches the shoes I'm thinking of wearing. Although I don't know if it's gonna match my like neutral yellow makeup. Maybe it'll be fine. I'm gonna go over top of that with a sponge. I feel like I got a little chunk there. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the vibe for tomorrow. I feel like it's cute and it's fun for like a day-to-day. I just don't know. I might want something not quite as sparkly for tomorrow. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there are definitely like little sparkles in there. I feel like it gives a really nice effect from far away. I just don't know. I don't know if I need it for tomorrow. This might be vetoed. But since I was talking about my shoes, let me show you. I've had these for years, literally never worn them, and like what better time? I'm trying not to get my makeup-y fingers all over them. They're definitely not like lemony, they're almost like a chartreuse or like an acid yellow. But I feel like from far away with my white kind of boho dress, I feel like these are really cute. So I'm excited to wear these. My feet are gonna kill, but beauty's pain. All right, so I'm gonna top over all the creams with powder products now. I feel that's been a really good way to prolong the wear time of my makeup, so I've been enjoying that. For bronzer, I'm just going in with Bali Sands from Becca. It would be so nice if Becca made a comeback just like Marc Jacobs did. Although I feel like Marc Jacobs never said they were done, they just said their contract ended or something. So I know it's not really the same, but like, how nice would that be? I feel like Becca in today's market and like the trends and everything, maybe I'm being optimistic, but I feel like they would come out on top. For blush, I'm very torn. I have the Milani Luminoso, which is such an OG. This one's pretty glowy though, so I feel like if I use this, I won't want to top over with a highlight because that'll be kind of what I want for the glow. I don't want the highlight to be super stark or punchy, so I feel like I should either do a glowy blush or more of a matte blush with a highlight. But this is option one. I also have Melon Pop from Clinique. This one's a nice option too. It's matte and I feel like the formula is a little bit more sheer. You don't get a huge amount of payoff. So this one might be nice just to kind of set the blush that I already have. I am tempted to do this one. However, we also have the Cover FX Duo in Soft Peach. This one I really like because it's not like a super bright peach. It's kind of like a neutral muted peach. The highlight's fine. I only really use this if I'm like mixing them together for a glowy blush. I don't really like it as a standalone highlight. It's kind of boring for me. So I am thinking about this one too. Honestly, I'm not loving the liquid highlight. I think I regret that. So I'm glad I tested it out today. But for the powder blush, I feel like I'm between the two matte ones. You know what? I think because the eye look is going to be like brown and yellow and not necessarily peachy, I think I'll go in with this one from Cover FX. Like I said, it's just a little bit more like the neutral muted side, so I think that will work better. And I don't want a lot. I'm just going in with a little bit of the matte. I'll kind of just top over everything. I have to do a little bit on my nose because I think that's cute. And I like bringing up whatever's left on my brush, just on the outsides of my forehead. I don't know why, maybe it's because I have a large forehead, but I feel like it kind of ties everything together. I'm pretty happy with that so far, so now I'm just gonna powder with the Maybelline Fit Me. And I really kind of just do under my eyes and sort of the T-zone just to mattify a little bit. I don't really need to go over the perimeter of my face since I used like a powder bronzer and a powder blush. And I definitely don't want to over powder because I am dry. I will do my forehead though. Just the center. I think I'm going to leave the highlight for the end just to see how I feel about the look altogether. But for now, I'm going to do my brows off camera and then I'll come back to do the eye look. Okay, brows are on. We're ready to go. For the eye look, there is a really beautiful blue. I think I'm not going to use that though. I'm really wanting to lean into like the neutral and yellow tones. I'm really torn because I love the effect of a cut crease or half cut crease. So I kind of want to do that. I would love to have like a deep kind of outer corner and crease with this brown and maybe this reddy brown here. Obviously the yellow and the shimmery yellow all over the lid. I think my only concern is I'm going to be not in a rush, but I'm going to be worried about taking too long tomorrow or like trying to do something really intricate and then it doesn't work out perfectly. I am kind of nervous about committing to that, so I don't know if a half cut crease is the best idea. I might do like a faux cut crease where like I kind of do all the color placement, I just don't actually use concealer. That might be nice because I feel like it gives a bit of a softer effect. I'm gonna do kind of a faux or soft unstructured cut crease. I think I'll start with the grotto in the outer corner and into the crease. I'll deepen it up with Vespa, and then I'll probably blend it out with Tuscan Fun or Lemon Squeezy. Not sure yet. So I think we have a plan. Let's finally get into it. I'm going to quickly prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and then we'll get started. All right, I'm starting with the grotto. And I am kind of just putting that all over. I'm going to try to leave it to the upper portion of the crease, just so there's a lot of space left over for that yellow. I like where that is so far. I think I'm going to go in with Lemon Squeezy to blend it out. And I don't want a lot because I feel like I really like the tone of that shade already. Just need a little bit. Now I'm taking some of Vespa and I'm trying to keep that in the outer corner. Also doing a little bit on the lower lash line. Probably should have used a more detailed brush for this, but that's okay. I'm going to take a little bit more of the grotto on a little bit more of a condensed brush as well and re-intensify that because I really like the color of it. So for the lid, I'm wondering if I should use a shadow stick just to kind of outline the shape. I wonder if that'll be kind of like a little bit of a cheat code instead of using concealer to cut the crease. Maybe if I use the shadow and top over it with the powder, that might work. Honestly, I feel like I can get the effect that I want without using this. I am curious if it'll make it easier though, but I also don't want to ruin anything. Let's just try it since we're experimenting today anyway, and then if I hate it, at least I don't have to use it tomorrow. I feel like I would prefer like a bright matte yellow. This one is metallic, but it might still be fine. It is a little bit patchy, but I mean, how old is this collection now? Probably a few years. It does feel like it dried down immediately though, so I'm gonna go in with the matte yellow, and that's called Amalfi, and I'm just gonna go right in. I'm tempted to try one side with the shadow stick and one side without, but like I said, I do want to get my nails done after this, so I don't know if I want to go in public with like two different looking eyes. That looks a little dry though, so maybe I will just do the other side without. Okay, yeah, that's way better. All right, so we're bailing on the shadow stick for tomorrow. I wonder if that would look nice in the waterline though. Not a fan of the shadow stick. I think from far away it'll be fine, but yeah, I definitely don't need it. I feel like I'm getting what I wanted from this side. I will go in with Serenade. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm really torn about the indie shadow because I feel like I don't really need it. I feel like the look is pretty. It's kind of what I wanted. But it would also be fun to kind of like elevate this a little bit more, get a little more sparkle and texture in there. But I don't know, I feel like the softness of like the neutrals and the yellow is kind of nice on its own. I'm really torn. I also didn't really care if the shimmer goes like above the crease. I don't know if I'll care tomorrow. I kind of like when the shimmer peeks over. It is also nice sometimes to have a little bit more of that like structure. I think I was using this brush at some point. I'm might make the shimmer a little bit more contained to the lid tomorrow. I feel like this still looks really pretty though. Definitely bailing on the shadow stick. And I'll just re-intensify the mattes on the outer corner. Well, I was going to try this other shadow stick on the lower lash line and then top over with that green shimmer. I don't think I need to though. I think maybe, again, I don't know if these are just really old or if this was always the formula. They're just a little bit too drying. I might try it in the waterline and hopefully they work out really nicely that way. Actually, let me try it now. So there is a metallic yellow and then there's a metallic almost green. This one's in the shade Citrus Squeeze. Let me swatch these. So this first one is Citrus Squeeze. And then this one on the bottom, which is kind of like a greeny shade, is called Cool Breeze. My lights might be a little bit too bright to fully pick it up, but I think I'll use Cool Breeze on the waterline. That actually looks really pretty. Hopefully that stays put. So I'm going to use the green shade now on the inner part of the lower lash. I'm going to try it on a brush first, and then I might use my finger to intensify it. I wonder if I should just stick to all yellows though. Yeah, I am wondering if I should stick to like just an all yellow and neutral look for tomorrow. Although I am going to do lashes tomorrow, so I feel like it might not be the worst move to do the green on the lower lash. But at least how it looks right now, I feel like the green kind of takes away from the whole lemon vibe, so I might bail on the green. It's a very pretty shade, but I think I'm just feeling like the neutrals and the yellows. I think that'll be my plan for tomorrow. And I'm going to use some of the shade Touring in the inner corner. Might do just a little bit on the brow bone too. I'm going to finish up with some mascara off camera. I'll find something for my lips and then I'll be back to show you the final look. Alright, so this is going to be the finished look. I am undecided on the lips. I played with a few different things. I don't really love what I have going on. I feel like it's just a little bit too nude. There's almost like a peachy undertone in this lipstick. So tomorrow's lip combo is TBD. If I remember and if I have time tomorrow, I'll try to take pictures of my final look. I might include some pictures of the shower too. I feel like that might be fun. Maybe you're interested in seeing it. And I know my maid of honor and bridesmaids put in a lot of work and a lot of detail into it. So I'm really excited to see it all come together and maybe I'll post it on the internet. We might just have a quick interruption from my beautiful son. You want to come up? My son would like to say hello. Come up. Oh, good boy. He just woke up from his big nap. Isn't he so handsome? I like that this is becoming a regular thing. I feel like he really adds a lot of value to my videos. Alright. Anyway, I'll just show you what I used to finish up the look. For the lip combo that is not going to be the lip combo for tomorrow, I have this lip liner from Pure. This came out in a little set years ago, but it's just this kind of nude brown shade. What did I use? First, I tried this lipstick from the Glamlight Michaela collab, and it's just very pale. I always feel like it's something I could use to like brighten up the center of my lip, but I don't know, I haven't really found a combination or a look yet that it looks good with. So, I mean, this might have to go in the future, but I digress. I ended up kind of wiping some of that off, and then I used Let's Cuddle from Dose of Colors. This one's also a bit more of like a nude shade, but it's on the peachier side. So I don't know, I feel like it didn't mesh super well with the eye look and the face makeup. I don't love it. So I topped over it with a little bit of this gloss from Tower 28. This one's obviously just more of a brown color as well, and it's in the shade Cashew. I did end up doing a little bit of highlight on the cheeks. I just went in with this duo from Ofra, and this is the Retrograde highlighter. Obviously, I used the bright yellowy side. For mascara, I'm still using the Bad Gal Bang from Benefit. Oh, I forgot to mention, I did actually top over the eye look with this liquid shadow from Marc Jacobs. This one obviously is just like a sheer yellow shade. It's very sparkly, and it's in the shade Shimmy Dip. So here's a close-up of the eye look. I feel like the liquid shadow was a good idea, just added a little bit extra sparkle. I decided I didn't need anything super punchy and impactful. I know I was kind of on the fence before with maybe using some indie shadows, Maybe it's just because I'm tired today, but I feel like the vibe is just kind of like low maintenance, soft and summery. Maybe I'll feel a little more high maintenance tomorrow, but I'm really happy with how the look turned out today. So yeah, that's the final look, and that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for the video today. Thank you so much for spending your time watching it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!